Why not? Hello, hello, hello. I'm early. So early, I'm gonna spend time cleaning my glasses. How's everybody doing? How's things? How's life? How's the universe? How has your week been? Wow, that's worse. Oh. Now you might ask why I'm so early. The answer is that I have not eaten today since 2 o'clock. And I will continue to not eat until about 2 o'clock tomorrow. And I have ADHD, and I am very bored, and if I don't do something, then I may falter and eat, and that's bad. Ooh. Yeah. Hello. You're my distraction. All one of you currently watching. I like, there's 2 likes and 1 concurrent viewer. Hello to the 1 person who's liked twice. How's things? I appreciate that I'm early. I appreciate that not many people will be here early, but welcome to the few watching. Oh dear John, you're always welcome to talk about it if you want. I know that that helps me sometimes. Using you a lot as some therapy. But obviously, of course, you don't have to, and wish you all the best regardless. Yeah. Also, Simon, who's was even earlier than me in Skegness on his holidays. He'll see you next week. Fair enough. I have something less fun to do. I probably can, John. I probably quite likely. Too much here. It's at the point where it's not really long enough to just like pull it all back, so that especially this side goes a bit mad. Aye. I know, John. If you're welcome to talk about it if you fancy. And the 4 concurrent viewers, we're all here for you. No, I am early as I said because I haven't eaten since 2:15 and I won't eat until about 2:15 tomorrow. uh, because I'm going in for a wee another camera test up my and I need to technically I should be glued to a toilet right now. But just for you lovely folk, I have delayed my medication dosage to after the stream, both for your benefit and for mine, really. um, and oh. But I suppose the news this week is mostly around AMD and their new chips and the kind of, I mean, the thing is that the chips aren't necessarily all that bad. If you pump some more power into them, they're great, and if you leave them stock, then they're like at least generally more efficient. Although, what was it? Hardware Unbox did a video talking about what you call it? Video about the efficiency, especially in gaming and things, and or was it Gamers Nexus? I get the two Steves mixed up because they make very similar types of videos, and they're both foreign accents to me. So no, I can't mix up Tech Jesus, but aye, that's. I think the biggest thing is that the marketing was wrong. marketing was talking about how these are the fastest gaming chips in the world, and they're the fastest chips, super major performance, big big uplift. Although realistically, I looked at the architecture deck that they gave me, and there wasn't that much different. Like when looking at Intel's architecture deck, that was a massive trove of data and changes, and like here's what we changed, really excited. AMD's one didn't come out at the same time. It came out like 2 weeks later, and it was like a couple of pages basically. It was like, oh yeah, we might have widened the fetch and yeah, AI. That's about it. So that's kind of it really. So I think I agree with what's his name? He's not in the chat that I currently have open, but the wonderful user who's boosting our server on Discord. His opinion about it being really Zen 4 Plus, and also like it's very much an incremental change, it seems. Basically on Monday I woke with a spout of dizziness so bad that I couldn't open my eyes or stand up, which I tried and prompted falling on all four and vomiting about 4 times. So kind of lay there for 10 hours in the fetal position. That's not great. Emergency room on Tuesday night when I was able to go there. Nothing wrong with me. Basically looks of disbelief. Better Wednesday, working today. But this morning before work, had a bit of dizziness again, and the whole day if I lie down and turn my head to the side, looks like might be related to my spine. Fortunately, it's not, like my livelihood depends on being able to drive. Ah, ah, ah. Oh dear. Well, I hope that you get some actual fucking healthcare. I know that that's kind of rich coming from me. Uh, but fingers crossed. I hope so. I hope you can get sorted. I hope that it's something that can be fixed or made better long term. So my guess, because of the slight pressure that C5 and C6 are doing, yeah, no idea what to do. That's kind of the thing with me, is that, like, with me going to very... My back just went. The thing about me getting healthcare is that I still don't know how to do it either. I don't know how to cheat the system, as it were, to get what I need, to get them to listen, to get them to thingy. Now that I've had the autism diagnosis, I'm hoping that that means that I can use that as a, like, no, 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 you need to listen to what I'm saying, like, not just filter it through your, like, kind of handicap. Uh, like, you need to actually listen to what I'm saying, and. So I'm afraid I don't have any advice, because I've not got very far either. Hello, Chris. Yes, says Arlie. I I don't need the light of the Lord as much as my doctor might think so. You look more dead than usual. That's because I haven't eaten since 2:30 today, or 2:15, and I'm not going to eat until 2:15 tomorrow. And I need to take this lovely thing, which is some extra strength laxatives. So apparently, by the time that I've finished having this, it's just going to be yellow water. Aye, so yeah, no, the reason is that I'm going for another camera test up my Jaxi, and it needs to be empty for them to go all the way around it, basically. So aye, I'm getting knocked out for this one though, because that's the third time I've had a camera up there, and it's not a pleasant thing. And I don't really want to experience or be awake for that experience again. So aye, get knocked out. Nice and early in the morning too. I need to. What's annoying about this preparation is that, so I've had this before, where basically they make you drink 2 liters of uh, smoothie, and then you sit on the toilet for 3 hours until you're done. The problem is that apparently that doesn't clean you out well enough for them. So this new preparation, you take a liter, well, 500 ml plus a liter of water. So a liter, 500 ml of water, so a liter in total. It was meant to be at 7 p.m. for your viewing pleasure. I have not taken it at 7 p.m. because otherwise I wouldn't have had a stream. I'll be taking it at 9 p.m. And then empty. And then at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, I have to get up again and do the 2-part mixture, part A and part B, that must be mixed at time of consumption to really finish it off. So that's me. I drive for a living and have no one to give me a hand, so great. I'm gonna try some exercises for stretching the neck and sleeping with the torso elevated, but I'm not a doctor, that's just a guess. Aye, that's not ideal. Sure. I think obviously for me and my problems, I have generally been able to work around the fact that I am not well. Disabled is the standard term, but I am aware that I am in a very fortunate position that I've been able to create a source of employment essentially for myself that is not reliant on me showing up every day and every set times and doing set things, and especially physical things. So I'm aware that I am privileged in that manner. So I hope that you can get some help. Hope that they can find the cause and resolve it. And that, I mean, it's an awful thing. It's awful to be ill. I'm well aware. Yeah, I hope that I can make it better for you. John, the fact that you're open with some strangers on the internet, at least in this manner, is a good thing. It's good to share your load whenever you are struggling. Yeah, it's you try 3 pairs a day. Do you know? I don't think that'd help. Hello Ish, how you doing, man? How's things? Do the 4chan thing if inserting a stick of butter up there to trick your bells into dispersing his content. I have the legit stuff with the instructions and everything. See? 2-part mixture. 2-part. It's like epoxy, but for getting everything out. Oh, shut up, essentialist. Or are we pretending this is a safe space? Well, I keep sharing my shit. You don't take the piss, so fuck it. Uh, is Joe part epoxy to bung stuff up or loosen stuff? It's to loosen stuff actually, surprisingly. And hello, Joe. How you doing, man? How's things? How's your week been? Um, my guts ain't happy. Aye. Did I miss anything besides your piss taking? It's been busy between that monitor video and working on the handheld today, amongst other stuff. Nice, good. Busy's good. I've been doing the bed cooler project again. I I have cut. I got I collected the foam yesterday, and I've cut the tubing into it, glued it all down now. Um, so yeah, the bed part of the bed cooler is done, and the even better news is that so these PCBs that I get made. So this is the well first generation that doesn't work for several reasons. That those boards and uh, latency tools, response sim tools, all that jazz. They're all made by JLC PCB, and they emailed me the other day saying, "We'd like to sponsor you." And I was like, "Great! I want to use your service. I need to order a bunch of the new latency tools." And they said, "We'll give you free services." I was like, "Oh, okay." So I'm doing a sponsor video and two mid rolls, one for the bed cooler and one for the new latency tool. And then the sponsor video is basically how to design and get the bed cooler made if you want one. Um, and so that's kind of the good news is that they've given me some coupons to my account, and yes, I'll be making so I've got some more boards. I think they'll be starting. I'll be placing the order tomorrow when I get the coupon come through. I know that's kind of the idea. When the bed cooler thing is all done and finished, how much would one cost me? Well, the board itself, I think depends. Something like 30 quid individually, like from me basically, right? Because from JLC, if you get them to make the parts, like get them to put all the parts on it, um, the what you call it, most of the parts that are on here, except for well, I sold these headers, and these headers, but the temperature chip, the pump headers, the two fan headers, the resistors, and the transistors are all soldered by them. Um, to get the minimum quantity for like assembled is two. You need to buy 5 PCBs, and two of them need to be have parts on them basically. Um, so with all of that in mind, I think it was something like 80 or so pounds for the 5 PCBs, two of which were manufactured. So if you wanted to just get a PCB yourself, it'd be a bit more. Whereas if I'm buying them, I'm buying, 5 or 10 or whatever, I can, split the shipping cost between all of those units essentially and sell them at a bit of a lower price. Uh, so yeah, that would be the PCB itself. It also depends on how you want to do it because I'm doing it in the tech YouTuber way of Overclocker sent me a very nice case and a very nice pump and res combo, of which you really don't need for this, to make it work. But it's very, very nice and I didn't have to pay for it. Uh, So like that pumps up the price a fair bit because the pump and res are something like 150 quid or something like that. Like it's a beautiful bit of kit, but it's really expensive. Um, Whereas if you just use like an aquarium pump or something, it's probably fine too. Uh, the foam was 50 quid from a local foam supplier that cut to size. It was very nice. The tubing was 30 quid for 50 meters. Uh, so yeah, a do-it-yourself kit, as in the tubing, the foam, not put together. I think you're probably into it 250 quid, um, give or take. Yeah, that's probably that. How much power does it draw to pump to power a pump big enough for an average bed, double or king? Cool. So the unit the actual cooler that I have is four Peltier modules that are 12 volt, 6 amp peak, which is about 300 watts. That is peak efficiency, which you won't really hit uh, for reasons I can't be bothered to explain. Um, so you're probably talking about 200, 250 watts from the cooler itself. Then you're talking another 20, 30 watts, whatever, for a pump. Um, Maybe, depends. Another couple watts for the fans, not too much basically. And then the reason that I am doing all of the transistors, and actually the revised version has a better circuit to control them. It has an inductor and a capacitor smoothing circuit. So basically what you can do is you can set it to a lower level, basically like a lower voltage, a lower duty cycle, um, and let it uh, cool less or more. It's the theory anyway. Um, Try. It's kind of the plan. I'd say 2 to 300 watts when running, either heating or cooling. But that's nice because you can heat or cool. And that's obviously a lot less than a couple of kilowatts for an AC. Hello, Jim. How you doing? How's things? Which series of Dragons Den will you be appearing on? A lot of people have joked about that, and the serious answer is none of the things that I make are really either professional enough or are wide appeal enough to benefit from me being on Dragon's Den. Um, Can't wait to create my bed accessory empire and take the teleshopping world by storm. Do you need an Intel style 2 kilowatt indoor mobile AC? Happily, no. This prevents you needing an AC. Prevents it. That's pretty reasonable. I've seen some similar systems for well over 500 to 600. Well, the branded one, 8 Sleep, is minimum 2.5 grand. So if it's £300, you're basically talking about a tenth of the cost. Now, um, whether or not my solution is any good at all is yet to be seen. But we'll see. We'll see. Um, you just need to start designing some open source TechteamGB studio cooling systems now. Well, if you want to cool a room, an AC is the way to go. If you want to cool yourself, then a Peltier module might be better. Also, John, thanks for listening, mate. By the way, is the hair reason thing still a secret-ish or not? Well, first of all, no worries. Always here to chat. And second of all, Kinda. It begins with a T and there's a flag associated. um, that was it, the tools. Along with the bed cooler, I will be ordering the new latency tools, which I'm very excited for, because it is quite the marked improvement. Like, realistically, if you have a latency tool, unless you're only doing peripheral testing, it's probably fine. But this is better, and I like that I've made it better. And I do have an idea for a tangentially related latency tool that I'd like to work on at some point, if I can find the development boards that are related. I know that I have two of them somewhere. I just don't know where that somewhere is. Yeah. Oh yeah, the other thing, my keyboard died. The TechteamGB, as I named the video, I think was plugged into a faulty socket. So yeah, it might be dead. I plugged it in, didn't light up. It made the sound, made the Windows sound. I can make it make the Windows sound in your ears very loudly if you want. Um, but yeah, it might have kicked the bucket. It might also be because I put a USB-C port on it. Probably not overly well, but we'll see. I'll take it apart at some point soon and see my mistakes. So I've currently swapped to the Wu-Ting 2, which is quite an old board, to be honest. And I don't really like the way that it sounds or really the way that it feels, but I really like the analog keys. So yeah, we'll see. I do have quite the collection of keyboards upstairs, so I might switch around to see what works. The only problem is that there's a couple of keyboards that I've really liked using and that I'd really like to use, but I really like having a full-size keyboard and a full-size number pad, and I can't not have that. But yeah. Oh, Joe, that's probably the air conditioner. Well, it's only on fan mode, but it's that, I'm afraid. It's too warm in here, I'm afraid. Uh, is that the same keyboard you had in a video tour thing you did about 9 years ago? No, this is that's a custom built board. It's a glorious GMMK. I think the original one, which was already kind of old when I got it, and it has glorious Panda switches, and a Razer keycap set, custom paint job, and specifically custom USB-C port. Does this mean I can spec you a TCGB KBV2? Maybe, maybe. We'll see. What about the old cool old Cooler Master one? I do have two of them, yeah. But also no. I've grown weary of cherry keys or switches, I suppose. Um, yeah. Does the Wu-Ting prevent Essen shooting you in the back of the head in the game? Oh no, not at all. He can do that at any point, and frequently does. Uh, if it did the sound, it might actually be a fuse. It does. It just doesn't function anymore. So I'll take it apart and have a look and see. I do quite like typing on it. I like the feel, I like the sound. Pretty nice, so I don't really want to get rid of it. If I could have analog keys without having the sound or feel of the two, but full size, that would be great. I've got an ASRock monitor coming tomorrow. I didn't know they did monitors. They do, although I don't think that they're overly original products, if that makes sense. You know, like Philips monitors are Philips designs. ASRock's, I think, are not. When I say typing feel, what I mean is the keycaps feel kind of cheap plasticky, like cheap plastic rather than. I think it's a texture thing actually. That these are smooth, like really, really, really smooth, whereas the Razer ones have a bit of a roughness to them that makes them a bit. They feel a bit nicer to me. Um, and also it's very clacky. There's no sound deadening, and there's no like it's very. Um, I don't know if this will pick up, so I kind of have to talk, but you can kind of hear how clacky that is. So yeah. Quite probably, Chris. I need to find which one. Yeah, I love me a clickety clackety keyboard. Fair playish. Fair play. I do. I definitely prefer tactile over linear, but I know that if I want analog, I can't have tactile. So yeah, I don't know. No worries. You tell me when you're ready. Um, how's the tech stuff? Anything exciting coming up? Because you're not mentioning new Ryzen, so I assume you're not too excited about that. Well, I don't have any of the new Ryzens. AMD did say that I was on the press list, but yeah, I haven't got any, so I guess not. And yeah, uh, what you call it? From the reviews that I've seen thus far, there isn't too much super exciting about them. Seems a bit more like a refresh than a plus. Oh, it's Cooler Master. Sorry, you got it wrong. Um, yeah, it's not 100. It's not 1 millisecond. I know because we have data in the database to prove it. But yeah, yeah, no. Fair enough. Fair enough. See how it goes. Um, to be honest, just stay with classic mechanical. Probably, probably. I'll see. I do, yeah. I use home and end and delete an awful lot, especially in programming. Page up and page down less so, but yeah. Numpad for sure. Big arrow keys for sure, and home and delete for sure. Yeah. See, I can't have it smaller. Also, I use a Roller Mouse Pro 2 as my wrist rest. I did a video on this a couple years ago when a friend um basically donated it to me. It's a really cool bit of kit, but it is a full keyboard size, which I keep hitting my mouse on it while gaming, which is really annoying, but I don't think that I could not have it anymore. So, yeah, yeah. Can you repeat what your keyboard is? Well, the one that I'm using currently is a Wooting 2, Wooting TWO, which is one of the earliest analog keyboards, and not just optical, but analog. Like the Switch knows how far down you've pressed it. So you can set the actuation point at any height you want. You can do multiple actions per key press, and a bunch of other fancy stuff as well. Then just no. Uh, Thank you very much, Ish. That is the Hall Effect version. I actually have the original one. But yeah. I use the Keychron V5 QMK, the one with the knob. Nice. Keychron's boards are great. I have a couple of them. Was it more than just the WASD analog? Yes, it's the whole keyboard. The whole keyboard's analog. It's I can't remember the name anymore. I think it was like SwiftTech or something, but not that SwiftTech. Um, they were infrared beam switches rather than Hall effect, which is what the HE is, and what a lot of the new optical switches are as well. Which, to be honest, probably better. It's less prone to failing in general. Um, but yeah. Thanks, Chris. Jim, I got my new 2.5 gig switch today. A Keeplink 5 port 2.5 gig plus one SFP 1 gig. 10 gig. Right, nice. That's cool. My local water supplier has been a bit unsure of if I have any issues. I reported an issue God, like a month or two ago. We had some backing up, and they came out, they flushed it, all good. And then I got a call like 2 weeks later saying, "Hi, we've come to fit your new manhole cover." And I said, "What manhole cover? We've not discussed this." They said, "Can we have a look in your garden anyway?" And I said, "Sure." And they went, "Oh yeah, this isn't the garden we were meant to be working in." I was like, "No, it's not." And then I got a call again today saying, "Hi, we're expecting to be in your area tomorrow." I was like, "Cool, I've not reported any issues. It's not me. Bye." So yeah, that's great. Essentially says, "Why have one knob when you can have four?" They're a bit too tightly spaced though, which is the only problem. Also, Chris, on the note of the Coolmaster Master Keys Pro L, message me at the weekend or something. One, I can go and find them, and two, I won't be dead, hopefully. I'm barely using the one I've got. What will I do with four? Yeah. Have I mentioned that I used the Happy Hacking Keyboard Hybrid Type S? Once or twice. Nobody likes close knobs. I mean, some do, and that's their choice. I think one knob is enough for me. Two or more would be weird. I don't know, you've got two hands. You could really twist those knobs. Oh dear. What is life? A bit of a joke, apparently. Oh god. Jim, how's your Switch? Yeah, I hope you I hope that it's working all right. My daughter just walked into the room and gave me the strangest look and said, Dad, what are you watching? Uh, he's watching an idiot on the internet talk about tech, hypothetically. In practice, we're talking about knobs. Knobs on keyboards. And shit yourself. um, no, I don't like the clickety clack. I like it to be soft. I like it to be quiet. I like it to be refined. Which is why I don't like the Wu-Ting. And I might swap it for something else. Still Q6. Well, I have. What do I have? Oh, I have the Q3 Max upstairs. I love the Q3 Max. It's wonderful. Dose 1. It's always a fun game when you get a wee booklet of things that it's going to do to you. Where are the side effects? Warnings and precautions. Possible side effects. Okay, right. Okay. Do we want to play a game? Take a guess what what's the common side effects. So the 1 in 10 of severe laxatives. What do you think the common side effects are? Shit. That one is not a side effect, that's a main effect. Explosive diarrhea. Again, main effect. Think around the problem. The side effect of one of Carrie's meds is pancreatitis, the med that she takes to help relieve her pancreatitis. Bleeding from your eyeballs. It's definitely not in the common. Hold on, let me check. No, that's not in the uncommon either. Shedding the lining of the intestines. No, alright, I'll put you out of your misery. Dehydration, nausea, and vomiting. What are the fun ones? Thirst. I don't know if I can read this one. It's right on the line. Yeah. 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 There you go. That's what I get to experience tonight. God damn it, Jim. How'd you fold these things back up? No, that's not right. That one first? Yeah. No. No. Okay. So TechteamGB, god damn it. Yes, John, I agree. I agree. Yeah. They seem tame from this end, but I'm not the one who unleashes the torrent of hell upon the toilet bowl. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really looking forward to the next 12 hours. Especially because I have to get up at 5 AM to take the second dose. Yeah. No, the team has never been capitalized. I like that it's a sort of curve to the top. The erections. No, that's normal. That's called having testosterone. Um, essentially, I think that's quite the opposite of laxative on the puking poo. Um, nice one, Chris. As you can tell, I've clearly gone insane with not eating. uh, what's happened to me, man? What has happened to me? Oh dear. Well, what videos have I got coming up? At least let's remind myself and try and salvage anything. Oh yeah. There are a couple of actual tech things. One of which is the an Acer laptop, which I must admit I've been kind of disappointed with Acer's laptops recently because they're all low TDP. At least the two that I've looked at recently are low TDP because the cooling solutions just can't keep up. They really like so that the Nitro V15 is too thin and is too underpowered, so it's a 90 watt 4060, I think, which is terrible for a laptop, considering that the last generation ones are 140 watts. Whereas, and the Triton Neo 16 that you'll see a video on tomorrow, assuming that I remember to upload it after I get back. That is only 110 watts at peak, which is not great, especially because the standard gaming mode doesn't even let it run at 110 watts. I think it's more like 90, which is bad because you get terrible performance. And if you stick it on turbo, you do get better performance. But like, at what cost? The noise. The noise is the cost. It's horrible. As you'll see in the video. So yeah, that, and then the next one is a Zigbee presence detector, which is kind of cool because it's different from a motion sensor, and I explain why in the video. Although it's basically just radar for your house. It's pretty cool. And so it means that you can have it set up in like your living room or whatever, and it knows that you're in there, even if you are just sat on the sofa, it will know that you're still in the room. Whereas a motion sensor, you have to keep waving your hand in front of it to activate it. So yeah. My old 2060 laptop was also 60 watt, but I used some custom VBIOS to unlock it to 110. And it had like 10 to 15% better performance. Well, the thing about, so the reason that you didn't see a major performance difference is because it likely wasn't running at 110 watts for very long, because laptops are almost always thermally constrained. Although if I remember rightly, the 2060 wasn't a super power hungry chip. Even on the desktop either. And so there is limited gains for it. The GPU temp is always 70s, 80s. The CPU, on the other hand, yeah, that's gonna be a nice 90 to 100. Logirod, hello. I'm experiencing intermittent server crashes and application timeouts in high-load environments. The issue seems to be related to CPU throttling and memory leaks. How can I diagnose and resolve these issues, considering potential factors like inefficient code execution, inadequate resource allocation, and underlying hardware limitations? I don't mean to be offensive, but that kind of sounds like ChatGPT wrote that. Now, second of all, to answer the biggest oh nice, well, for anyone interested anyway, the biggest current factor is it an Intel 13th or 14th gen CPU? If it is, throw it in the bin. Yeah, If it's not, do we like? um, yeah, just plug the prompt into ChatGPT again, and you'll get your answer. It won't be a useful answer, but you'll get one. 10th gen Intel. Yeah, those laptop CPUs. uh, not great. Yeah. Oh, apart from Amazon, where's the best place to buy keyboards in the UK? OC UK don't seem to have that many brands, surprisingly. They don't. They have a lot of essentially own brands. So Ducky is owned by Pro Gamesware, who are owned by Case King, who also own Overclockers. But yeah, they don't really. I don't know. For things like the keycrons and stuff, direct from their website, it's normally fairly decent, if a little on the slow side, because I think it ships from China mostly. But yeah. What's your take on the Ryzen 5 CPUs receiving microcode updates to increase the TDP from 65 watt to 105 watt? Seems to me AMD wanted to release them as 105 watt parts originally, but played some kind of game. Well, the interesting thing was that there was a big delay between when the parts were said to launch and when they actually launched. And so, while we don't know what exactly happened there, there's a not insignificant chance that AMD just wanted to play it safe for the launch, and then, you know, if boost it with a microcode update later, cool. But yeah, I don't know. Ducky is a Taiwanese company, but it's owned by Pro Gamerswear, SE. AliExpress and Banggood, just get stuff up to 100 USD. Yeah. Keychron are the only brand under 100 USD, which allows you to remap second layer. Most of them, any of them that have QMK or as the firmware, and therefore you can use VIA as the software. It's online. Work pretty well for up to 8 layers a lot of the time. So yeah, anything VIA will do layers. Yeah. Make sure you use the one-time use online card thing. Yeah, especially for bank goods. AliExpress, I think, is a little better, but I mean, it's still a good idea. I think I use PayPal for the most part, rather than storing my card. Yeah. I just pay into Revolut and use a single-use card. I mean, as long as you're aware that Revolut isn't a bank and isn't regulated, and sure, yeah. Yeah, as long as you're not leaving money in there, that's fine. Yeah, Ish, I agree with you. It's definitely easier in buying from a pre-imported source. Yeah. I mean, I guess you can have a look. I wonder if use PC Part Picker, actually. PC Part Picker will let you look at parts. I don't know if they'll do keyboards. They might do. But they, what you call it? They do searches across basically every tech seller in the UK, including Amazon, and give you the best price for it, and in stock, include delivery fees, all that sort of stuff. So have a look at PC Power Picker and see if that is an option. Revolut is becoming a proper registered UK bank, and apparently Revolut are about to be granted a banking license in the UK. Interesting. I thought that call it I thought it was going the other way, you know. Uh, PC Part Picker UK mostly just does big name pre-built stuff. Yes, I assume Ish is not talking about buying custom boards and stuff. Did you ask about Keychron specifically? No, it was just keyboards. But yeah, I don't know. Have a look, see. Although I suspect that there probably isn't a UK distributor of, say, Wooting keyboard, well, Wooting or Keychron keyboards. I suspect that it's, you know, Amazon or direct, basically. VMW VW are implementing a BMW style payment plan for optional additional services such as sat-nav heated seats, chaser LEDs, follow me home lighting, etc. Paying a premium for already owned tech. Yeah, that's gonna be a hard no for me. Yeah, I no. The idea of the reason that it is so frustrating that people like BMW or Tesla, in fact, and I guess soon to be VW, are offering these subscription model type things instead of just including them or making you pay for them up front, is that they have decided that the cost of just putting the parts in the car, regardless of whether you ordered it or not, is less than the cost of picking which car to put the part in, right? Like, if you didn't pay for the adaptive cruise control package, right? So you don't need the radar sensor in the front. They've decided that it saves them more money in the long run to just fit the radar sensor in the front for every car rather than only for the ones that have paid for it. Now, the problem is that you own the car, right? Like, let's say you buy in cash. No one does, but let's pretend. So you bought the car in cash, you own that vehicle outright. But you didn't bother paying for most of the optional upgrades. But they fitted them anyway. You own those optional upgrades now. They are your property, but you can't use them. Unless you pay a subscription fee. And it feels so much like... Because the even crazier thing is that BMW will still charge you for those features up front. Now, I don't think that they will charge you for the features and then require a subscription for the same features. It's more, you didn't spec them originally, they included them anyway, and now you have the option to pay for them later as a subscription. And so, yeah, like it feels a lot more nefarious and evil for them to include the thing but not turn it on or not let you turn it on without a payment. And then there's also the argument, like the very real arguments of like the features require a constant internet connection to function, right? Or at very least a regular internet connection to function. And so what happens when 4G becomes obsolete and gets turned off? That's already happened with 3G. Like that has already happened in a number of countries where, and especially with 2G, where cars required that 2G or 3G connection, and those features that you paid for, now no longer work because the car can't connect to the internet anymore. What happens then? And even stuff like what happens when you sell the car. So if you're paying a subscription, that subscription doesn't transfer to the new owner. And then the new owner has to decide, like, they test drive it, they press the heated seat buttons, it works, and then, you know, you buy the car, you cancel the subscription because you're not paying for a car you don't own anymore. And then the heated seats stop working, and then they've got to pay extra too. Like, that. No. No. I think my meter is 3G. I think. It's actually a separate little box that's next to my electricity meter. Hello, Apted. How you doing, man? How's things? New fuel pump coming tomorrow. Nice. Old cars are great. Just need to get mine working first. Well, yeah, that's the problem. My meter just says LTE on it. Yeah, that is 4G. I mean 4G LTE, but yeah. Yes, Joe. Yeah. Yeah. I need to pull the finger on a new blank rectangle because I can't choose because they're all identical. Yeah. What sort of budget are you looking at? I'm not a phone reviewer, so, you know, my advice is not worth much. At the best of times. but I do know that the new Pixels are reviewing very well. I personally still quite like OnePlus. £450? Yeah, you might get. Well, actually, isn't the Nothing phone like that sort of price? Isn't there a Nothing 2? I'll go used. Yeah, fair. Well, in that case, flagship from what, 2 years ago? Yeah. I just got my OnePlus Nord 4 today. Currently cloning my OnePlus 7 to it. Nice. I have a 7T Pro that I don't plan on replacing anytime soon, and but I will probably replace the battery at some point soon. With one from iFixit, actually. Fair play, Map. I love my OnePlus 6 Pro, Samsung S24 Ultra for me. Nice. HTC, the weird choice, indeed. Pixel 6 with Graphene OS is doing me well. I don't watch video, so small phone is fine. Anyone try Fairphone? I haven't, but also, like, it is just a worse phone still. And it's really expensive for what it is, you know? Like, I really, really, really commend their work and the effort, and I still don't think I'd buy one. Yeah. Super user slash Liberty Wing. I had an inkling, but I'm glad to have you back. The problem with Pixels is that they started using their Tensor chip, which is basically rebranded Exynos chips. Well, that's a problem. Because the Exynos chips, as I've heard anyway, not great. Yeah. It's not worth the novelty. Yeah. I upgraded to the S23 Ultra, had my Oppo X3 Pro for around 4 years, only upgraded because the battery was shot in the end, got about 2 hours of use out of it. Fair. My Exynos 990 doubles as a hand warmer in the winter. Nice. I've been lurking, mate, often watch, just I was busy. That's fair. I know the feeling. But yeah, good to have you. S20, S21, S22 Ultra. Well, the problem with Samsung phones for me is a couple of them. But the main one is the lack of updates. Like, how many years of software updates does Samsung's even flagship phones get? I don't want a curved display. Do you know what? I don't blame you. The curve on the edge of my 7T Pro is mostly just annoying. Yeah. Oh god, no app. Don't do that. Don't do it to yourself. I want a display that rolls out like a scroll. Their Android skin doesn't appeal to me. Yeah, no, me neither. Price, Samsung is now going to give more updates, so they say. Oh, okay. Software updates are effing annoying. Every forced update I got on my Samsung messed something up, random apps included. So for the most part, I've found that OnePlus's software updates have been amazing. I've had a OnePlus phone for probably like 7 years at this point. The only problem is that more recently, they've rolled out a couple of updates that have just like broken features I really liked, and it's really annoying because there's no way to go back. So yeah. iPhone will get you at least 5+ years of software updates. Yeah, I mean, OnePlus, I think, is committed to, like, what was it, 2 years of Android updates plus 4 years of security updates? Something? 4 or 5? So yeah. Much better than Samsung normally does. It's true, but the pain is switching. Yeah. Xiaomi phones get 10+ years of updates with the custom ROM stuff. Yeah, that is an option. A phone that rolls out like a scroll and shouts, hear ye, every time you open it. That'd get annoying on the bus, wouldn't it? 4 major updates and 5 years of security updates from OnePlus on the Nord 4 and 12. That's good. I'm tempted to get another Motorola. I miss using my old Moto Edge. I also had Motorola phones quite a while. I had the G2 and the G4? Yeah. And then I switched to a OnePlus 3T and then a 7T Pro. And I guess I'll probably swap to a 15 or 16 Pro at some point. Yeah. I have a lot of Moto Gs, yeah. But I think they're all sitting behind my screens. Also, is it in the modern world possible to have a checkbox that says, no, really, don't update crap without consent? Really? I don't think OnePlus does forced updates like that. Is your OnePlus the one that has the pop-up camera? Yes. Yes, it does. Still works fine. Anything particularly exciting coming out content wise soon? So the 2 videos that I have... Well, I've got 3 videos done. The video you'll see tomorrow is an Acer laptop that I really wanted to be great, but it's a bit disappointing. And then Monday's video is all about presence versus motion sensors and my new presence sensor that I have set up that works pretty well. So, yeah. Yeah, remarkably, the pop-up camera has not been an issue at all. Um, to open it. Joe, no, because I'm ill. Here's the pop-up camera from behind. Whoop. And here's the pop-up camera from the front. Gets a bit dirty sometimes, but you just clean it, it's fine. 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 If you force it, it goes back down. Yeah, I mean, they tested it through like millions of cycles. It's fine. I was worried about that and opted for the 7 rather than the Pro. Fair. I wasn't too worried. And like pinhole cameras, or notch cameras and stuff, I wasn't interested in. I think Asus killed the Zenfone last year, if I remember rightly. I could be wrong, because again, not exactly a phone nerd, but yeah. I'd shit myself if the camera popped up in the middle of an intense game of COD Mobile. Well, happily, you won't need to. And speaking of shitting yourself, I need to go do that. So, I'm gonna go. Wish me luck for being knocked out and having a camera up. Yeah. I hope I don't die. See you next week, hopefully. Yeah. Have fun, stay safe. And see you next week.